Hello, all. Cody the Grand here, and welcome to the Grand Podcast. I'm so happy you decided to kick it with me today. Let's get right into it. Can we all just admit that sex feels so good? I mean, fire. The shit is probably top 3 experiences you can have in your life. And I ain't talking about that slow, sad, lifetime movie looking ass sex either. I'm talking about that real freaky deaky. You actually like this person. They like you. The respect level has already been established as high. So we already know we can get as freaky as we want to be. I mean, I'm talking about that sex where you feel like I can actually be my whole self in this moment with somebody being their whole self in this moment. And when we get done, we got to give each other a high five and ask where you want to go eat at. Cause that's all we can do. We got to go get some food after this. That kind of sex. That shit is fire, baby. The problem that most people have though isn't admitting that sex is good or feels really good. The problem people have is their relationship with sex. The problem most people have with anything is their relationship with the thing, not necessarily the thing, not necessarily the action itself. In regards to sex, we all have a relationship with sex that is compiled of many layers, and you need to know your own layers so you can know someone else's layers before you do something that where you do something that brings them more involved into your life than just a physical action in passing. For example. Let me start by saying this before I go into that. Everything in life is about relationships. I'm sure you have heard a million times, bro, that it ain't about what you know, it's about who you know. That counts in more ways than just networking, though. Sometimes it ain't about the thing. Sometimes it's about your story with said thing, your relationship with that thing. We're just going to talk about sex for a little while, but we're going to talk about our relationships with a lot of things during this episode of this podcast. So I hope you're somewhere chilling. Back to sex. Ooh, sex so fire. Back to sex. So the relationship with sex is really complex with a lot of men, especially a lot of black men. A lot of us with our relationship with sex, we did not get to experience wisdom about sex. People didn't sit us down while we were younger and educate us on sex or sexuality. We talk about fucking. Let me be very clear. Young men were talking about fucking, but we weren't talking about sexuality. We weren't talking about pleasure, pleasing a woman. A lot of people's first experiences with sex come from media outlets and peers. A lot of people's first experiences with sex come from digesting images from television, and in a lot of cases in the black community, in the urban community especially, porn. Porn is a big thing in the black community because everything in media is sexualized to us, for us. Every bit of content we got, every bit of marketing is sexualized. Hell, there's McDonald's commercials with women in it without clothes on at this point. And no shade to marketers. It works. It works. Sex really does sell, as cliche as it sounds, but it's cliche for a reason. Sex sells. So you dump a lot of porn in the black community. That's a lot of young men's first real experience with learning about sex, learning about what they think pleasing a woman is, learning about what they think their body is supposed to do. So they get in these situations with people in their late teens, early 20s, even 30s with some guys, never really having conversations based in wisdom. And they struggle. And when I say struggle, what I really mean is they don't actually get to know a young lady or get to know, let me not say that, get to know their partner. You see how I did that? They don't actually get to know their partner's body. They don't actually get to know their partner's likes and dislikes, not because they are disinterested, but it's because of their relationship with sex. Once again, a lot of young men have a relationship with sex that is not based in wisdom. A lot of young men do not get sat down and converse to about the do's and don'ts of sexuality, the pros and cons rather of sexuality. They just know do this, do this, do this, and this is it. And then you add on the pressure of being young, feeling like you're missing out because you feel like everyone else around you is doing this thing that you have these urges to do, but maybe not the opportunity. And the only guidance you've probably gotten about sex, especially if you've grown up in a Christian home, is to not have it. So all you know about sex is porn. Porn, 1. 2, sex is not for me until I get married. And 3, that I'm the only one apparently not having it because my friends out here getting down. So you got pressure, you got misinformation, and you got people that you love making you feel less than because of your desires. All of those things right there are put together in a pot for you to make a very shitty decision. And usually that shitty decision usually leads to you pursuing an act with somebody where, you, like I said, y'all didn't really understand each other's layers. So when you're a child, like this is a big thing for teenagers. A lot of teenagers pursue sex in the form of a romantic relationship with a young person. They feel like if they can pursue romance and convince their potential partner that they also see them romantically and not just sexually, that the sex will come. And what ends up happening a lot of the time, even if you hadn't experienced it, you've probably seen this before. Someone convinces somebody that they really like them romantically and they're cool with kicking it with them without the sex, knowing that they really want the sex. One, that is a lot of them. Two, that is a lot of themselves. So a whole lot of lies going around. So you about to make a decision based on you not keeping it real with yourself or another person. So they convince them that they want them romantically. The person they want romantically also has sexual urges, so they end up getting down with the get down. Once they go on get down with their freaky diggy sex that also feels incredible, what ends up happening is they kind of just start liking them less, bro. It happens all the time. They don't want them anymore. They've had the experience, they've bragged about the experience, and now that it's over, it's just over. So what that leaves is emotional scars for that other person that also leaves mental and emotional damage to the initiator. They just aren't aware yet. This is why awareness is such a big thing for us as adults, because we're realizing so much that we've done as children that affects our attitude towards what we're attracted to now as adults. Once again, going back to relationship with sex. When you know that a young man's relationship with sex was based out of no wisdom at all, just shitty experiences with other people who had no wisdom, just doing shit. And then you add on years and years and years of that. So you got pride, because they also, involve themselves with their sexual activity because it made them feel good to be a part of the in crowd. So they could say, I'm doing it too. So now you got pride. You've officially manipulated somebody into doing something with you. So you got pride, you got manipulation. You've lied to yourself like it's okay for this behavior to be going on because, once again, out of ignorance, you just didn't know that you're really hurting somebody by just bringing them into a world that they didn't ask to be in because you pursued them romantically, not sexually to them. You got manipulation, you got lies, you got bringing other people into a life where you throwing trash on their ass, and you compile that over years and years and years and years. Now you in your mid-20s, you in your 30s, you in your mid-30s, and you asking yourself, why am I having so much trouble with people of the opposite sex? Why am I having so much trouble with people that I'm attracted to in regards to my sexual relationship with them? Because yeah, they might give me their body, but like, I don't feel fulfilled. The problem with that is because you've been having this moment that's been physical for so long based on your relationship. You just have a bad relationship with sexuality. That's all. The thing about having a bad relationship with sexuality is you can clean it up. You can change. You can grow. You can learn. You can say, okay, you know what? Maybe me manipulating people to get what it is I want, or maybe that ain't sweet. maybe me, or this is a real thing for a lot of adults now. Maybe me lying like all I want is the sex isn't really good for me. Maybe I should dive into why I'm so secure in wanting sex with someone, but not so secure in my real desires for intimacy, my real desires for companionship. I don't really dive into those sectors of my life as securely as I dive into, I know I want to have sex. When you're growing, you can say to yourself, okay, when I was younger, this is what I was on. And I know that I acknowledge it was wrong, especially when you had a moment growing up where you realize that you have been bringing other people into your midst. The thing about sex is it takes someone else being present, for this thing to go down. And you don't know what it is you're doing to that other person. And I'm not just talking about physically, because y'all could be pleasing each other physically and tearing each other down spiritually and emotionally, beating the shit out of each other spiritually and emotionally. And if you don't know what you could potentially be doing to that person, you would just be out here doing whatever you want to do based on your urges. Now, I have to stop right here and say this. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you having sexual urges. Nothing. Look, sex is so good that it had to come from God, and you gonna need them sexual urges when it's time. A lot of the pastors I like to listen to talk about that kind of shit, but they ain't capping. Them sexual urges when you with the right person, they gonna turn you into somebody else, baby. They gonna turn you into Super Saiyan. I ain't gonna lie to you. We all had sex where we've tried to force the sexual urges, and it's just not right. But when you had it, when you getting that thing, boy, you getting that thing, and them urges there too. Oh shit, it's gonna get nasty fast. You gonna be a whole other person. Gonna be Superman in that thing. I ain't lying, cause you want to be there, but it's just about relationship. So under the sound of my voice, before I move on, just check your relationship with sex. Before we get into a romantic relationship and pursuing a romantic relationship, we got to first check our behavior. And since a lot of us have experienced sexual activities, we have to check our relationship with that to see how it's bleeding into our relationships with other things. I don't even have to talk about romance. I can keep it with relationship with sex. Because of people's relationship with sex, they have a hard time making platonic friends of the opposite sex, or platonic friends with people that have the characteristics of people that they are sexually attracted to. I say it like that. I'm really trying to clean up here. They have a hard time making platonic friends, not because that other person doesn't deserve their friendship, but there's their relationship with sex. In their relationship with sex, they're used to, okay, I'm attracted to you. You're attracted to me. This has to be the only way we can coexist. These desires and these urges, they have to be fulfilled. And if I can't fulfill them, we can't have a relationship at all. And that's one of the saddest experiences that a lot of black men are going through right now, because I personally feel like black men especially, are missing out by not having platonic women friends. If you don't have platonic women friends and you listening to me, you are really missing out on an experience that can really grow you into the type of man you really, really want to be. And you know what I'm saying when I say the kind of man you really want to be. It takes women help guide that ship, fellas. But you got to know, if your relationship with sex is jacked up, it's hard for you to view a woman as just a homegirl just because you have sexual urges for her. Don't worry about the urges. Yeah, you got sexual urges, but they don't have nothing to do with the decision you make. You still got to make a decision. You can coexist with somebody just because you got urges. Hell, we got urges to slap the shit out of people all the time, but we don't do it. And don't get me started on how people behave in corporate America, because you got the urge to go off on your boss every day and you don't do it. You got the urge to go off on your coworker that asks you that dumbass question every morning, like they just incapable, like they didn't fill out the same application, and they make more than you. You want to go off on them every day and you don't do it, but you lose control of yourself with your sexual desires, but that's because of your relationship with sex. I'm just here to say during this episode of the podcast that you just got to check the relationship. That's all. Because all relationships are about sustainability. If your relationship with sex hasn't helped you sustain anything, you need to check that relationship. I'm not telling you that you're bad, you're wrong, you're fucked up, you're weird, you're crazy. I ain't telling you none of that. I'm all that. I'm a whole pot of a whole lot of negative shit, but I'm a bigger pot of a whole lot of positive shit. I am that nigga now. Shout out to all my people that I can say the word nigga to and not get in trouble for. But I'm just saying, man, you got to check your relationship, because it could be bleeding into your other relationships. I know a lot of guys missing out in the workforce because they just can't seem to. And when I say guys, let me also say I'm also talking about young ladies as well. Like, let's just get that very clear so I can keep going. Young ladies, this applies to you as well. I'm just saying guys because I say guys as a part of my slang a lot. For those slow people out there in YouTube land coming. But it interferes with in the workforce, because you have this relationship where you're not used to having people of the opposite sex around you in a capacity that also serves you, that you do see as attractive, but you don't pursue that sexual behavior with. But when you get to the place where you make those decisions for yourself, there is more to this person than just how I see them sexually that can really benefit me. There is more to this interaction that we're having than that supersedes my sexual urges for this person. When you get there, you can really start reaping the benefits of having other people in your life. And other people will start reaping the benefits of having you and all of your awesomeness in their life, because there's no telling who you have been robbing of your greatness because you just sexualized them because of your relationship with sex. We just got to change the relationship. That's all. And this is the thing for my actual fellas. Now I am talking to the fellas. Fellas, You're not going to get a pass. People really don't understand us. People don't understand, once again, that we don't get talked to about these things. We just figure it out on our own. And the ways we figure it out are really fucking stupid. They're really negative. They really don't actually help us grow into the type of man that we can be proud of. But we don't know that when we're young. We don't know that when we're just trying not to be bullied. We don't know that when we really just want to fit in too. And we really want to experience this thing that our body is also telling us it wants. But I'm telling y'all, if you can just hone in on your relationship with sex, you can know, okay, this is my history. This is the information I've taken in so far. Let me go get better wisdom. Let me go talk to somebody that's gonna tell me that, hey, all sexual activity ain't sweet. Just because it feels good physically doesn't mean that it's gonna be all good. There are consequences that comes with entering someone's body. There's consequences from manipulating someone into having them act in a way that they wouldn't if they didn't see you a certain kind of way, and you don't have those kinds of plans for them. There are consequences to that, and we just need more wisdom. I'm here for that, but that's gonna be a whole nother episode. Relationship with the workforce. A lot of our relationships with our job, same thing. Sometimes it's not the job that's kicking your ass. Sometimes it's your relationship with work. You are here to serve the season you're in. You might not be living in a capacity that's fulfilling, or you might not be living in your dream, so and so, but you have to serve the season. What I mean by serve the season is you have to check your relationship with work. If all you know about work is I do this shit to just make money and do what I want to do with that money, you are missing out on potentially feeling fulfilled, because that mindset also keeps you from exceeding and doing your best. When you can have a relationship where okay, in any situation I'm in, even if it's not ideal, if I give my absolute best, I'm talking 10 every day, whatever that day says 10 is, I'm going to grow in this situation, because that's something we should have learned when we were young. We should have learned young that even if you don't want to do it, even if you don't want to do the work, if you just give your absolute best to it, I mean your real effort, I mean you gonna give the spirit of excellence to that bad boy, the rewards are just out of this world. Like even the non-tangible awards, the feeling of fulfillment, the excitement of knowing I am capable, I am worthy, I am powerful. I'm so powerful that I can do something I don't even like doing, so excellent that other people acknowledge me because of my own power. That's will, determination. It's so many rewards that come from that, and you need that for you to have a better relationship with the work you do want to do. Your relationship with work matters. Your relationship with work matters because, once again, just like sex, their relationship 9 times out of 10 also involves other parties. And those other parties might need your best. You could be robbing people by you not being the best you when you show up. We all get it, baby. Everybody tired. Everybody doesn't feel like it. We all get it, but you still got to serve the season. If you are in a gray area in your work identity, if you're looking for your work calling, your career calling, serve the season now. I'm talking to myself too. I'm looking directly at myself in this camera. Serve the season now. Give your best now. I did not want to do this podcast today, y'all. I'm sitting here giving my best though, because I want to serve the season. I really want to give. And I know the more I give to this season doing this, if I give my best like I'm trying to do right now, I ain't no trying like I am doing right now, I know the rewards are going to be incredible. Yes, we do things for the reward. That is okay. That's okay to say. It's okay to do. Like, it's fine, y'all. But just know the rewards are going to be incredible. Just serve the season. Give your best. You might not be living your dream job right now, but whatever position you in, kill it. Hey, I'm going to give the spirit of excellence, because you know if you just give the spirit of excellence, you're going to be rewarded in abundance, bro. You're going to be rewarded in abundance, baby girl. You gonna look up one day, and that boss that you've been giving that spirit of excellence to, they gonna whisper your name to somebody in a room you not in about something you do want to do, because you have been that excellent. But you got to check your relationship with work. It's about sustainability. Once again, and the only thing that can sustain you in any work capacity, whether it's in your career, whether it's your passion projects, whether it's your entrepreneurship, is you giving the spirit of excellence. That will sustain you. That's sustainability. The same thing with sex. The only thing that can sustain somebody's sexual identity is awareness. Them being aware so they can make better decisions, not being selfish. But it's about sustainability. If you're not trying to be aware, your sexual identity can't sustain, especially if you want it to grow you, especially if you want it to be an identity, like I said, that leads you into being the person that you know you really want to be, the great that you want to be. Work relationship is the same. If you could just give the spirit of excellence every time you walk in there, bad boy, the rewards are they gonna shower down on you in themselves. You're gonna be able to tell, and you're gonna be able to tell quickly, this is what I was supposed to do. Wow. This is gonna help me be who I want to be. Once again, I know you're not doing your dream. You might not even know what your dream is. Let me talk to y'all real quick. You might be a little slow with your vision right now. You might be still trying to figure out what it is that I want to do. While you figuring that out, serve your season, serve your current season. If you go and serve your current season, I promise you that vision will come to you, because the way God work is, God might not just give you a thing. He just might give you a series of tasks once you've proven that you can handle this season. And that series of tasks may make up the you that you do see yourself as. You might grow in and say, I don't want to be a blank anymore. Like, now that I know that I can handle loads like I've been handling and conquering them, I see me doing these things now. That's just vision. Bro, people change their minds about what they're supposed to do every year. It's 45-year-olds out here doing something totally different than they were doing when they were 20. And I just mean straight up in their career. I mean with everything, but just specifically for this part of the conversation, their career. They're doing something totally different. And they feel successful. That could be you. There is nothing wrong at all with changing your mind. You will know that, though, if you checked your relationship with work. See, that's the thing. We have a relationship with work where we grow up our whole lives just thinking that, okay, our job is supposed to aspire to have a title, make a certain amount of money, and then we will find fulfillment. We will find success. But that isn't the way it works. That's not the way the game goes. But once again, just like sex and everything else, we weren't given the proper guidance. We weren't guided from a perspective of wisdom. They didn't tell us, hey, the real game is hustling. And these doctors that y'all look up to, the white people that you base your success off of, they have 8 or 9 different streams of income. And see, this is the thing about us as a culture, right? We hear these other terms or whatever, and we give them more respect than we give our own. Like, white people say stuff like, you have to diversify. Man, that ain't shit but a fancy way of just saying, get out here and get you some hustles, baby. Hustle your ass off. But we weren't taught that like hustling was just a part of life. We were taught that if you work to get a position to make a certain amount of money, then that will equal fulfillment / success. Now that we older and we trying to figure out, because we do make some of this money now, or if you don't make the money now, you still not happy, bro. And you're not happy because you're not doing stuff you like to do. You're not doing stuff you want to do. This is another thing about the relationship with work. You got to know that your profession and who you are two totally different people. I mean, two totally different things. Like your profession and what you do, those are two totally different things. Shout out to my good brother, Josh Book, J Book, artist J Book. He taught me this a long time ago because he's one of the most incredible men in with like child care. This brother right here helps families all around the world, but he's also a musician. And it took me a while to understand that, like, bro, you can do both. Like, he has a strong passion for helping families, and he also has a strong passion for music. And he doesn't feel less than because he does them both. He actually feels like he's walking more in his purpose, doing more things that he likes to do because he doesn't subscribe to the prison of a title. I heard TD Jakes talk about how titles can be imprisoning, man, because once somebody calls you a blank, a doctor, a lawyer, a physician, a police officer, a firefighter, or whatever, a writer, you stop seeing yourself as somebody who could fill other spaces, who can do other things, and you suppress all of your other interests because you got the title. You got the degree, you went and got your doctorate, you moved up at your job, and now you VP. And it's your title, VP. But you stop seeing, but you are also somebody that had multiple visions of things that you could do and would like to do. But you stop putting those seeds in fertile ground because you thought you couldn't. You can. You can make time for it, just like you made time for everything else, like you made time to give to that other job. The other thing about relationship with work that I wish they would have told us growing up is that job security is a myth. Job security does not exist. It don't matter. It don't matter how long you been there. It don't matter what you do, bro. Hey, they can let you go for anything. Remember that, baby. Anything. Relationships matter. What is your relationship we covered sex, work. We got to talk about relationship and with finances. Your relationship with finances. I'm telling you, a lot of us we do not have a relationship with finances based on a perspective of wisdom. Think about it like this. Most of us don't even learn about debt until we're already in debt. Our parents didn't learn about debt until they were already in debt. So they couldn't teach you about finances from a place of success. They couldn't teach you about finances from a place of riches and how to actually manifest wealth with action, with plan and action. All they could tell you to do was hopefully you can make a certain amount of money doing these things and don't make the mistakes I made. But that ain't helping you. Your relationship with finances. Some people, money is not your problem. The problem is your relationship with money. What are you doing? How do you treat that money? Do you get that money and don't think about putting some up? Do you get that money and just spend it on things because you've just developed habits that's just based out from spend culture? I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying you got to know your relationship with finances so you can know why you're in the financial state you're in. And if you don't like the financial state you're in, check your relationship. Don't check the amount of money. That's the biggest misconception right there. We think that the problem lies with how much money we do or don't have. That ain't it. Like I said, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christ-based man. I listen to a lot of pastors, so I believe in the word stewardship. We were called to be good stewards over things. If you don't know what being a good steward means, it just means being responsible for whatever it is. So if you are a parent, you are a steward over your child. If you are a teacher, you are a steward over those kids in there. You are responsible. So you have to be a good steward of your finances. You have to be responsible. You are responsible. You are the only person that gives a whole flying fuck about your finances. For real, for real. It's not your partner's responsibility either. It's yours. You have to have a good relationship with finances. That's the only way you're going to be able to live a life with finances that you really want to. And this is the thing. Just because you came from a shitty relationship with finances, just like everything else, doesn't mean it can't change. You can grow. That's the thing. Financial literacy is more powerful than money. And you can get financial literacy on the computer, fam. YouTube, baby. You can YouTube University that thing. Look, you already pay your phone bill. You already pay Xfinity, AT&T, whoever you get your internet from, even if you trapping it off somebody else. Look, you already paying for it, bro. Use their YouTube, baby. Financial literacy. You can straight up just type in financial literacy if you don't know where to start and just go down a rabbit hole. If you want to learn how to get out of debt, you can straight up just YouTube, I want to get out of debt. And there will be a million videos on how you can do it. You just got to take yourself seriously. And the only way to do that is to acknowledge that your relationship with finances is off. And a lot of it, I'm saying it like I'm saying it because I want us all to be aware that a lot of our relationships are faulty with these things because of where we come from, because we weren't given the tools. But at this age and stage, that's no longer an excuse. Because of the internet, because of the access you have to things, it's no longer an excuse anymore. If you are still a toxic man, it's your fault. You need better friends. You need a better circle that can get on your ass if you ain't holding yourself accountable. So you can learn what holding you accountable looks like so you can start doing it for yourself. If you still out here miserable at your job every day, knowing you're not serving the season, knowing you're not giving your best, it's your fault. You need to hold yourself a little bit more accountable about the effort you put in. So you can know it's not about how they see you, bro, at that job. It's about knowing I gave my best. I gave my best. And because I gave my best, I know something's going to come from this. I know that my character is built like that. Don't you know that all this stuff that I'm talking about is nothing but character building, bro? It's just character building. You can put it into practice. Hey, I'm used to giving my best in all situations. So I know if I give my best at a job I don't like, I know I can give my best to my partner when I don't feel like rocking with them. I know I can give my best with my finances, even though my CPA saying words I don't understand. I know I can give my best to my platonic friendships that grow me and I grow that other person. Because I'm used to giving my best in situations I don't even like to be in, because that's my character now. It can be trained, it can be taught, it can be worked on, but you have to do the work. You have to work on the relationship with that thing. Sustainability is the game. And the only way things can sustain is great foundation. The problem with us is we have a rocky fucking foundation. So we got to go back and actually get down and fix our floors, people. We got to go do it. Our foundation is jacked up. The only thing we can do with our foundation is acknowledge that it's jacked up so we can go down there and like seal up some of them cracks right now. Like I said, with financial literacy, you can, man, get rich dad, read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Read Total Money Makeover. Type in Earn Your Leisure on YouTube and go down a rabbit hole. Type in Wall Street Trapper on YouTube and go down a rabbit hole. Type in ways to invest. Type in I want to get out of debt. It's going to happen for you. It can happen for you. I ain't saying it's easy. It's simple, but it ain't easy. Shout out to Wayne, one of the best trainers in Memphis, Tennessee, who taught me this slogan that changed my life. It's simple, but it ain't easy. It ain't easy, but it is simple. You can get there and just do the work. You just got to get that effort, baby. That's all. You good. You can change. You can grow. Just work on your relationship with them finances. And it just come from education. Stop trying to argue with your parents. Stop trying to argue with the people who love you about what you should or shouldn't be doing with your money, because they don't know. They can't help you because of their relationship with finances. They learned about debt in debt. They barely got out of debt. And when they got out of debt, they got right back in it because they didn't actually understand financial literacy. They just got out of debt and kept on spending. That's relationship. That's bad stewardship. That's all. It's not about the amount of money, people. Be a good steward, baby. Last, you got to work on your relationship with your peers. Sometimes we are getting really good at like just canceling or shutting down people or walking away from friendships because we feel like they don't serve us a certain kind of way, because a person is acting or behaving in a certain kind of way that we feel like is counterproductive to who it is we want to be. When the truth is, we do a lot of that shit so we don't actually have to confront them, because they could just need some accountability. That's all. They could need you to put your big boy pants on and stop being afraid of confrontation and tell them that what it is they say or do hurts your feelings and you would like for them to change. Sometimes your friends need you to say, hey, bro, I need more from you. Hey, sis, I just need more from you. I love you and I don't want you out of my life. I just need a little bit more. Sometimes they need that, and sometimes they will rise to the challenge. But if you're so afraid of confrontation because of your relationship with friendships, you will be walking away from everybody thinking that you're doing what's best for you, but you're not. You isolating yourself. Once again, this is character building because you've never even confronted these people. Now, if you've confronted these people about things that you don't like, that things that hurt you, and they choose not to change, bet, roll. Because that's them actively disrespecting you. But if they just don't know, baby, they just don't know. Jesus, they just don't know. But our relationship with friends, you know what I'm saying? We grew up just being loyal, just being down for stuff. Finding people who had little similarities with us here and there and just laughing and joking and letting people insult us so we can be friends with them. Letting people talk down to us sometimes, or us insulting them or talking down to them. And we saying this is just how our friendship is. This just culture. Nah, some of that shit just turns you into who you are today. Some of this shit is stupid. Fix that foundation. That's why one thing I like doing as an adult is asking myself, is my friendship based out of love? Is it based out of what I can give and not what I can receive, baby? Because a lot of our friendships growing up is based on what can be done for me. Rightfully so, we immature. That's the thing that comes with maturity. When you are a child and you immature, you think immature things. You think, okay, these people rock with me because they laugh with me. They laugh at my jokes. They give me adoration. They give me notoriety. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might give me their milk or something at lunch, or they might give me their extra cookies or hash browns or something. They rock with me. You know what I'm saying? They got my back. They heard somebody talking about me. They stood up for me. They rock with me. But you don't know that that person might not be able to serve you in every season of your life. Or they can serve you in every season of your life, one or the other. But you will never know if you are like afraid of confrontation. I'm sorry, I had to listen on my throat. But if you're afraid of confrontation, if you're afraid to just ask them some hard questions when y'all's friendship get a little rocky, ask them, hey, what do I do for you? Do you gain anything from being in my life? Do I bless you in some kind of way? Ask them. Ask them. See what they say. Hell, you need to ask them for you too. You need to ask yourself, do you gain anything from them people being in your life? Do they bless you in any kind of way? Do they serve you in this season? Do they help you want to grow and be better than? It's a thing. I work hard to surround myself with people that grow me and I want to be better than. I even have a thing for being attracted to women that just make me want to grow, make me want to just be better. But we'll get into that later because I'm gonna do a whole show on relationship with romance later on. Though I'm gonna try to get like an actual counselor or therapist or something on here with that. But let me wrap this thing up, man. All in all, bro, check your relationships with these things. Check your relationship with sex. Check your relationship with work. Check your relationship with your finances. Check your relationship with peers. Check your relationship with yourself. Check your relationship with that doubt you have. See what it's done for you. See what it's taken away from you so you can understand why it's there and why you've kept it so long. We focus a lot on the action, but it's the relationships we have. It's the layers in those relationships we have that have built us to be who we are. And sometimes we don't like who we are. Sometimes who we are isn't us pointing towards the us we want to be, and we know we can be, but we can fix it. We can fix it. Just gotta want to. I love y'all. Cody the Grand.